Hi, welcome everybody. This is the next test video in the series. This one, there's going to be several different tests that are taking place in it. What I'm starting with right now is natural view Tamriel ENB and natural and atmospheric Tamriel weather. And a reason for that is when I tested this before, I had blinking light sources. And I thought it might have to do with the fact that I didn't make proper saves with that other character. Because if you're going to change weathers, what you really should do is go into an interior cell with the weather that you were using. You make a save, you exit, you remove that one, you move the old weather source, you load that previous save, you make a new save, you exit the game, you activate the new weather mod. It's a process. So I got my main character, and I needed to do this anyway because I needed to get my house in my main playthrough. And I was outside Sunderstone. What was that place called? I don't know. It was outside that fort where there's Forsworn. I had Lydia with me, so I had to go back to Dragon's Reach, dismiss Lydia, and then go through that process of save and install and everything. So anyway, here we are with NVT and NAT. And as you can see right there, I've got flickering lights again. So I was hoping by doing that, by making clean saves, so I don't have a save with Mythical Ages weathers or any other weather source still in there, then it might get rid of that. But as you can see, the light source here is flickering. The light source down here is flickering. And these are flickering. This is quite bad. Everything else looks pretty much the same. So, what we're going to do with this one is what we didn't do before when we were testing, and that was to look at some other interiors. Namely, I want to see how it looks in Embershard Mine. Probably pop into the Sleeping Giant Inn, then maybe up to Bleak Falls Barrow, and then maybe my soon-to-be former residence, Hala. And then after that, I'll pop out of the game. I'll switch weather mods. We'll switch to re-engage the ENB. We'll leave NAT on. We'll switch to re-engaged, and then we'll check those interiors again, and then I think I'll keep re-engaged and switch to Climates of Tamriel. That's one we looked at in the last video. We'll run through those interiors one more time, and well, that might be the whole video, but let's get a move on. So I'm not really going to be looking at exteriors too much here because we've already seen that in the last video. Right now I want to check interiors because we didn't look at any interiors other than Lakeshore Cabin. I don't know if anybody's going to be in here. I don't know if they've respawned yet. It doesn't look like it. Oh, that's alright. I was hoping to, you know, beat the crap out of some bandits. Okay, so far the light levels in here are good. The light is very cold, but the light levels are pretty good. Flames are still really pale yellow. Didn't expect that to change. I mean, like, you know, it's not. I'd kind of like it for atmosphere to be a little bit darker, but I have to remember, I'm doing a Let's Play, and you know, I upload the videos, and YouTube's video compression tends to make things darker anyway. So this is going to look darker when it gets on YouTube. It's acceptable. I'm cool with it. No real need to go up there. But again, light sources are just, it's cold, you know? A pale yellow. That's something that can probably be fixed pretty easily. The light level is pretty good. Can't really complain. I'll have a better understanding once this does get uploaded. Then I can see what it looks like there. Because I had to strike a balance. It's pretty difficult. I like the interior to be darker. But if it is darker, then it may just be to where you can't see what's going on when it gets on YouTube. And even though I only have a handful of followers, you know, if they're watching the videos and they can't see what's going on, why do they want to watch them? Let's see what this looks like from over here. See, again, it's okay. I'd like it to be a little darker, but you know, I can adjust interior brightness. So it looks like the light levels in my log cabin and the light levels in Embershard are pretty consistent. It's a little bit light. But again, that's okay. I'd rather, if it's going to be light, I hope it's like that everywhere I look. Because at least that way it would be consistent. And I can just make an easy internal brightness adjustment. The problem is when you have one place that's too light and one place that's really dark, then what do?
Someone there?
Of course someone's here. Bag tag. Is it just you? There's nobody over there? See, this is too light. I mean, I get that it's daytime out there, but this shouldn't be quite so bright. And again, the lighting is still very cold. Fires don't look good. But again, this is all stuff that can be easily adjusted. Still, it's way too light. I mean, you can see everything very, very easily. Definitely has to be adjusted. Yeah, I mean, you can see everything in here so easily. Still got a little bit of motion blur. It's not bad. I've seen much worse. Let's go a little farther down and then we'll turn around and head out of here. This is still way too light in here. Yeah, it's way too light. You kind of lose the creep factor. I like going to these barrows and just feeling a little bit creeped out. You know, and the lighting's just like, you sit there thinking, oh, I wish it was a little bit lighter in here. And oh, it's too bad there's nothing to beat up on. This is starting to look like vanilla. As a matter of fact, there's something, I didn't do this before, but I can turn off the ENB quite easily. Look at that. It's darker without the ENB. Huh. That's interesting. That is, that's a little surprising. ENB's actually making it lighter in here. Because that was always the complaint about this stuff when, you know, in the early days of Skyrim, you could walk through here and, you know, it was as bright as the middle of the day in here, and you're a few 100 feet below ground with nothing but an occasional candle for light. How can you see anything? Alright, next up is Hala, and then I'll jump out of game and I'll switch over to re-engaged ENB, and we'll keep NAT, and we'll check this stuff again, the same things real quick. Alright, here's Hala. It is really bright out here. This is the thing that always bothered me about NAT and NVT to an extent. A bright sunny day is just that. It's really, really bright and even washed out in some cases. I had a massive FPS hit there. I dropped down to 44 just before coming in the house. Yeah, before, this is... the interior here was fairly dark. Now it's just... it's really, really bright. Here's the swords I made and can't get back. It's kind of disappointing. Well, I mean, it looks nice. It's just it's really, really light. I guess there's some fill light from the windows coming in. That's doing some of that, but all right. Let's see. I think that was everything. Yeah, let me jump out. I'll come back and I'll switch out to re-engage, and we'll keep NAT, and then we'll jump back into Embershard. Alright, back again. We are back in Lakeshore Cabin. As you can see, I wanted to see if I'm still having the flickering lights here. This is re-engaged ENB with natural atmospheric Tamriel, and yes, we still have the blinking lights. We can see it's blinking there, there. That one's blinking. You can actually see it on the floor here from the light sources down below. That's quite annoying. Don't spend a lot of time in here. Other than that, got a little more color here, a little more saturation than before, but I wanted to check the light sources for the flickering thing. This one's flickering quite badly as well. I will. It is off to Embershard Mine. Alright, right away it looks a little less cold. It's not quite as bright as before. It's not bad. Fire still needs some work. This area right here is pretty bright, but I think this spot right here always is. This is not bad. Could be a little darker again, but I think this is a little better than what we had before. Yeah, yeah, this is... The lighting here is a little bit better. Again, I like the light sources to be a little bit warmer and the flames themselves to be a little more orange. But the light levels itself are pretty decent. Could maybe be a touch darker, but again, once the editing, the rendering, and the uploading's done, I'll have to look at it again. It was pouring rain right before he came in here. Kind of want to hang out there and see if I get struck by lightning. Not much for motion blur in here, but I wouldn't expect any. Outside's a different story, though. It looks really nice with re-engaged. Very impressive. It's a very clean, sharp image. But we're here to check interiors. You know, I think the reason it's given me a kill cam when it's not a kill cam is because this spell does 40 points of damage. It's an adept level spell. But the difficulty, I'm on master difficulty. I just want to check these trees real quick. I gotta do dined a lot again. The ones in distance, they still look kind of poopy. Still kind of light in here. I think I would like this to be a little bit darker, even though it's daylight outside. We'll have to see what the lighting is like below. And it's still a little bit cold, but better. Definitely liking that a little bit better than NBT. But again, all that stuff can be adjusted, so you kind of got to look at the big picture. It's still pretty light in here. Not as light, not as bright, but I can still see a lot. Quite clearly, actually. Yeah. You still see everything in here. Well, let's just keep looking. The weather mod shouldn't affect how things look inside, but it sure seems like it does. I did a lot of testing with weather and ENBs before starting my Let's Play. And I always made sure to check interiors because they always look different, even with the same ENB. ENB off, ENB on, off, on. Yeah, it's lighter with it. Well, I don't know how much RLO is impacting that. Maybe I should be testing this without a lighting mod. I don't know. It gets complicated. Anyway, let's get to Hala. We'll take a look at that, and then I'm going to switch out. I'm going to keep re-engaged and switch it out for switch out to Climates of Tamriel. But we'll will retain re-engaged ENB. Well, the weather cleared up. You see, it's still fairly bright out here. Again, I think this is NAT more than anything. I mean, that's just... What time of day is it? Alright, it's a little after 4. That's still insanely bright. I don't like that. I don't like it when it's so bright. Maybe it's because I live in Florida and I see this all the time. Well, pretty good lighting in here again. A little more vibrancy in the colors. As far as the light levels, I don't think it's quite as bright. It's not a lot different, but I don't think it's quite as bright. I just think it's a nicer looking because there's a little more saturation. I mean, this looks got a little more color to it. Still can't. You're still gonna not let me have my swords, huh? Alright. Okay. Let me switch out to Climates of Tamriel and we'll see if that makes any kind of a difference. I want to look at one thing real quick. Yeah, I don't know why. I guess it's because of it's either the lighting mod or ENB I'm using. You can see right through this thing. You shouldn't be. This should be a weird purple, blackish, liquid looking thing there. Oh well. Alright, let me switch out weather mods to Climates of Tamriel and we'll run the course again. Hang on, I'll be right back. Alright, now we have re-engaged ENB and Climates of Tamriel. We'll take a quick look at the interior of this gorgeous cabin. It's unbelievably beautiful house mod. The mod author really did a bang-up job on this, I must say. The lighting in here is very, very nice right now, I think. No flickering lights. The fire is better, but still could be a little more orangey. But I think it's a little bit better. Take a quick look downstairs. This looks pretty good. Nice lighting. Decent saturation. Again, I think the red could be dialed back just a little bit. This looks nice. The blue flame is a little more blue. Still could be have a little more blue to it, but better. No flickering lights. That is a major relief. I'm not spazzing out. That happens sometimes, you know. Okay, next stop is where are we going first? Ember Shard Mine. Let's hit it. Well, this is a little bit darker. The tunnel looks, a little bit reddish. It's definitely darker in here. The light sources look good. The flames need a little work, but the light sources look pretty good. They have a nice glow to them. They might even be a little more orange than I was expecting. Much, much darker in here than the others. Might even be a tad too dark. I might tweak the interior lighting if I stay with this combination. Bump it up just a little bit, like maybe 5%, maybe 10% the most. Very dark through here. Oh, I wish there were some bandits in here so I could, you know, kill something. That's okay. Be plenty of time for that. I've got another video I'm going to be putting out pretty soon. I'm going to be testing grass mods. I know that sounds exciting, doesn't it? Again, the lighting in here, it's a little bit dark, but I like the atmosphere. The light sources look pretty good. Again, if I keep this one, if it's just me playing, I wouldn't touch it. But when I upload these with, after the editing, the rendering, then uploading them and YouTube's video compression, there's areas in here that are just going to be devoid of any detail. Like this area down here is just going to be completely black. This area over here, you won't be able to see much of anything. And again, it's striking that balance. I don't have a lot of subs, but if they are, interested in watching the Let's Play, why would they want to watch it if they can't see what's going on? So I have to strike a balance between what's going to look good on YouTube and what's going to look good in game for me. And it can be tricky. Yeah, I definitely would punch up the interior brightness a little bit. Like I said, maybe 5, maybe 10%. Let's see where we're going next. Bleak Falls Barrow. Looks pretty good. Well, what's going on with the weather here? It's that blowing snow thing. Cuts in and out. But that's a pretty good looking scene. But we're here to check the inside. First have to jack up the dumbass. There's one in the old baby maker. Bag tag. Nope. How are you still standing after that? Oh, that was a terrible kill cam. A kill cam without the cam. What are you gonna do, right? Well, this looks a little better. It's not quite so bright in here. It is the middle of the day, 12:23. It's fairly clear out, so we can expect this to be a little lighter, but it's not as bright as the others. This area down here is well lit. Again, maybe a touch on the orange side. I think I think if I tweak down the red, because I want to do that because the wood and stuff looks kind of red, I might want to check the interiors after that because it might make this look a little more natural. Very orangey right here. But the light levels are pretty good. It's got a little bit of the creep factor. It's a little bit dark and creepy. This spot right here is always kind of reddish. Well, yeah, somewhat, but that's a weird looking spot right there. You can still see everything in here, but it's not quite as well lit. Let's see. Shift F12. Yeah, this is without the ENB. ENB on. A little bit more red, don't you think? Yeah, it's very red everywhere. I'm debating whether or not to try rustic weathers again. I mean, the light levels are okay. It's just very red. This is very red. That sound like a broken freaking record, huh? Yeah, I like the light levels. I just want the light sources to be a little less orange. See, I didn't say very red that time. I'm getting better. At least that's what my therapist says. Alright, let's go check Hala. And then after Hala, and I don't think I did this with the other ones. We're going to go back to the cabin and see how it looks in the evening when the light sources switch out. Because right now, most of the illumination is coming from the fill lights, and they're just bright white. But they'll go out in the evening, and the other light sources will come on. If this is any indication, it's going to be very red in there. Still pretty bright out. Not as bright as... Wow. I was just about to say not as bright as the others. That's kind of bright. What the hell, man? That's nuts. Why is the sun looking like that? Oh, man. I was look at that. Holy crap. I was all set to say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to stay with COT. This looks good. That's not happening. I don't know how to fix that. I might be able to figure it out, though. Wow. Alright, let's check in here. This looks a little closer to what I remembered before. Still very red. Light levels are okay. A little darker than the others. That's been pretty consistent. I guess it's a matter of personal preference if you'd like the interiors to be a little lighter or a little darker. It's alright. Alright, let's go back to Lakeshore. Alright. It is around 8:30, 8:40. So you can see the fill lights have gone out, the lights, the windows are going dark, and the light sources are on. Well, this looks pretty good. Again, still have to dial back the red. Light levels is, light levels is good. The light levels is good. Jeez, listen to me. The light levels are good. I mean, I think they're appropriate, you don't have the bright sunlight coming in through all the windows anymore. Let's try upstairs. And we'll check the basement again. The basement shouldn't look too much different. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah. It's not bad. I like it. Alright, well, I don't know what the deal is with that sun. I might have to do a little research to see about fixing that. That's no good. But that's going to do it for now. Let me know what you think. I'm going to look this over and come to a decision. I might have to try rustic weather. I'm kind of on the fence right now. We shall see. But that'll do it for now. So thanks for watching. Stick around. I'm going to be testing some grass mod next. So I'll see you soon.